Hey guys, and welcome to another episode. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to paint your engine cover whatever color you want. So today, I'm just going to show you an example. This is what my Honda Accord's engine bay looks like. And I've got a painted engine cover here, and I have another smaller one up here for my spark plugs. Now both of these, they were a black color when the car was new. Now we're going to be painting up the engine cover of my brother's Golf to a different color. So the engine cover in his car is just a black OEM plastic, and there's nothing really fancy to it. There's two emblems, one Volkswagen and one 2-liter. Now we're gonna have to mask these up when we get started, but we're gonna be painting this up a different color. Now the color that we have set out today is a burnt copper color, and we're gonna show you how to go from this regular faded plastic to burnt copper. So the first step in getting this thing ready is we need to sand down the entire engine cover so we have a rough texture for our paint and primer to adhere to. So we're just gonna go over the entire thing with anywhere between 200 and 400 grit sandpaper and then sand the entire thing. Now we're not gonna be sanding down the emblems only because we're not gonna be painting these up. We're gonna be masking these up later, so as it stands, leave these alone. After you go ahead and sand down the entire thing, you should have a surface that looks like this. So it's gonna be rough. It's not gonna look that great, but it's okay. This is gonna be the foundation for our paint and primer to go down onto. So once you have it like this, there's still gonna be plastic dust that's lying around, so you wanna clean that up. And we have a microfiber towel and some isopropyl alcohol. Just spray some onto the towel, not onto the panel, spray it onto the towel, and then wipe down the entire surface. You wanna get it so you're removing any dirt or any loose kind of plastic that's sitting on top of the plastic. So you want to go over every corner, every crevice, and get everything so that the paint and primer is going to adhere properly onto the plastic. So we're just prepping the panel, so we're going to have it somewhat elevated so we can get the sides of the entire engine cover. So we're just going to be using the tops of aerosol spray cans. We're doing this so we can have the entire thing suspended in the air, and we're going to have a really good finish once we're done. So prep work is everything when you're doing this. If you want the paint to last and you want it to make it look good, taking the time beforehand to get it done right and get it ready is gonna be making every difference in the world. Now to ensure that we mask up the emblems properly, we're gonna be putting a piece of tape over the entire thing. Make sure that we really crease it down in the corners and dig your fingernail into it. Now that way you're gonna have it so it's wrapping all the way around the emblem, and then any excess, we're just gonna cut off with a little olfa blade right there. So if you have any emblems on your engine cover, you can mask them up and protect them so you're not gonna have to worry about any overspray. So once you're ready, grab your knife and cut around the entire perimeter of the edges. Do this for both emblems, and then we can continue on to the next step. So with the emblems now masked up, we just need to clean over the painted surface and the engine cover one more time because my little brother molested the entire thing when putting the tape over top. So he's grabbing the alcohol again with the microfiber towel, and he's doing a once over the entire engine cover. So next up, we're going to be painting the engine cover with primer. So this is going to be the foundation for all of our next layers of paint to go onto. So with the engine cover lifted on top of the little paint tops, it's now time to put our primer down. So we're going to start off with a couple light coats and then move our way to a couple heavier coats. This is going to be the foundation that all the paint is going to be sitting on top of. So it's a good thing to have a good foundation for all that to lay onto. So once you're ready and you've given the can a good shake, you've agitated the contents of it, it's time to spray. Now, even though we're outside, it's a good idea, if you can, to use some sort of air respiration so that we're going to be preventing your lungs from getting sprayed with the paint. So once you lay down your first coat for the primer, you're going to let this sit. We're going to come back in about 10 minutes once this is dry, and then we're going to come back and spray it with a second coat. So next up, we're going to be applying our second coat of primer on the panel. So we're going to be spraying the second coat slightly thicker than we sprayed down the first one. Now after the third, we should see a good clear color of whatever the primer color is on the entire panel. So let's get started and spray it just like we did before. So with the second coat of primer now done, we're going to let this sit for another 15 minutes. We're going to come back and then we're going to spray this down for our third and final coat of primer. So we now have all 3 coats of the primer laid down, so we're going to let this sit for 15 more minutes. We're going to come back, and then we're going to spray this down with the engine color. Now you can choose whichever kind of color you want. You can go red, pink, blue, green, orange, or even a metallic color, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So once you're ready to spray down your first coat of paint onto the panel, make sure you grab your respirator, make sure this is all dry, and then go ahead, give the can a shake, and then spray down the entire panel. So once you have your first coat of the paint ready to go, we're gonna let this sit for 15 minutes, come back and then spray it down with a second coat. Now if your product has tiger stripes on it, where you'll see a stripe and then like a little even spot and then another stripe, that's completely normal after the first coat. After we build up our coats of paint, that all should go away. So we're gonna let this dry and we're gonna come back in 15 minutes. So now onto coat number 2. And by doing this a couple times, you should be removing all the tiger striping that you have on the panel. And finally, we're on to the third coat. So give the can another shake, do a test shot, and then spray over the entire panel once more. Now once the paint is dried, if you want to make this finish a lot glossier, especially if you're using a metallic color, what you can do is you can spray clear coat over top, and it's going to make it so that the flakes are going to pop, and it's really going to make a huge contrast. So when the sun or light hits it, all that you're going to see is the flakes. Now because we used a high temperature paint for the primer and for our base coat, you want to make sure that the gloss, so the clear, is also going to be of a high temperature product. So give the can a shake, and then spray down the gloss. And let me show you how much of a difference it's actually gonna make. You can see how much shinier this side is than that side. So just continue this and do the entire engine cover with the clear coat. Now you're gonna wanna do about 2-3 coats, just like how we did when we were using the base coat and our primer, so that we get a nice, uniform, good look. So after we let the paint dry, we're just gonna be taking off the masking that's covering up the badges. So we have the 2.0 liter one right here. So just 3 pieces of tape. 1, 2 done. On to 3. So that's done, and now we have the Volkswagen one left to do. So with a little masking up in here, you can see that how easy and how nice this looks after you do a little bit of prep work. So because we masked all this up, there's no going over the badges or removing any paint, because we went over this and did this proper. So once it's all dried up and ready to go, we can throw it back on the car. And there you have it, done. And that, guys, is how you go ahead and paint your engine cover whatever color you want. Now we chose a metallic burnt copper color. You guys can go with red like I did for my Honda, or any other color you guys want. If you have any questions regarding the video, throw them down in the comment section below and I'd be happy to help. Again, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Yo, you're so cute. Yo, you ruined it. What the hell? Are they dead?
Yeah, those are the shells.
Yo, stop.
Yeah, they're dead.
The hell are those?
Those, I think those are the cicadas.
Those are not cicadas. They look like huge ticks, but not. Yo, that's messed. Real talk, the engine cover looks too good for the engine bay.